find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nurov in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Triple Bypass, NicholsOilsPros.com Xfinity race here at Michigan Speedway, sponsored by John Kreidler. It is going to be a very, very good race here tonight, and it is The Bigfoot Motorsports 80 as practice ends here. We get things underway, and this is going to be, I think, a very good one. Yes, 80 laps here at Michigan, and yes, we were just recently at Michigan with Triple Bypass, and we're back here again. And again, a big shout out to John Kreidler sponsoring us here tonight. But let's go ahead and talk for a second about the scores. Tyler Merritt at 368 points, Brad Kress at 327, Matt Harmon at 316, Ben Harcum at 312, Al Corey at 306, Cameron Kane at 293, 275 for Mark Herzog, JC John Campbell 275 as well, and then Chad Bear 274, Jason Benson 273. We get qualifying underway here, and this is going to be where things get very interesting for me. But of course, it's not just my voice you're here to hear tonight. I am, of course, back with Mr. Michael David. So, Michael, good evening, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Bradley. Happy to be here. How about yourself this evening?
I'm not too bad. It's a good Thursday night, and it's a good night of racing.
Oh, yeah. Well, any night's a good night for racing, in my opinion. But, yeah, no, this is going to be an exciting affair here at Michigan. Should see some good 2-wide, maybe even a little 3-wide action, but hopefully nothing too crazy. These drivers know exactly what to do. They are extremely talented, and they know this track quite well. Like you said, they've already been here once, so this is going to be a bit of a refresher course. So strategy-wise, I think everybody's going to just kind of take on what they did last time and just use that for a little bit of knowledge just moving forward this evening. But we should see a pretty straight-up fair race here as we're watching Sean Bradley taking us around the track right now. I know Sean was in the low 39s. We'll see what his time is here momentarily as he comes across for his first lap. We've got a couple people coming across. Tyler Merritt goes best. Sean Bradley is going to be second place.
Yeah, 39 seconds a lap is not too bad of a time, and we got a little treat for you here once qualifying's through. When we get to the grid, I won't spoil it yet, but let's just say the JP Broadcasting blood runs deep here in Triple Bypass, and I'll leave it at that. And I'm sure somebody in YouTube chat is going to say it's James Parfit. It is not. He is off doing other things tonight on a Thursday night, which is, well, it's unusual and surprising for him.
Yeah, he's generally here, and I know he's off someplace else this evening. So I'm jumping in. It looks like got a people out here in the chat that are looking for James and looking for Howie. Howie Burrows, I believe, is new to the JPB program. I don't think I've worked with him yet.
Yeah, we had Howie with us Tuesday night for the SRXs. He was a good addition, and let's just say that Howie has fallen in love with Triple Bypass just like everybody has fallen in love with Triple Bypass. I'll spoil the fun for you here in just a couple of minutes. Let's get through qualifying here as we see Grant Parker coming around to finish his final lap. We've got several drivers that are just now starting their laps. Our race sponsor, John Kreidler, is going through to start his lap. Let's jump on board with Mr. Kreidler here so you can get an idea of what this track entails. And, well, it's a lot of flat-out left-hand turns. I don't know what else I could say to it.
Yeah, you're pretty much flat out almost the entire race. We get the miles per hour there on the right, getting up to mid-80s, mid-180s, almost to 190 there. Yep, 192. Obviously, they will be going much faster in the draft, but that's still pretty dang fast just for yourself. So, yeah, you're almost flat out the entire way around this track.
Yeah, it's not bad at all here, and we'll go ahead and bring the surprise around as we wait for John Kreidler to finish up his first run. John Kreidler, where does he find himself in the mix? Well, he's currently sitting P14, and my question is, where does this man find himself? And who is this man? Well, making his track debut, it is Howie Burrows in the 001.
Okay, I was incorrect. I didn't realize Howie was going to be here, so good luck, Howie. That's awesome.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't really realize Howie was going to be here either, but he's here, he's putting in times, and we'll see how he does as he comes up off of turn 4 to finish his first lap. Is it going to be a good lap? That is the question as he comes around, and, well, Kreidler's up into second place, and where is Burrows on the timing chart? Well, he hasn't officially put a lap in yet. That was the start of his timed lap, so we'll keep our eyes on it here as we continue through. He's one of the few drivers left to put in a lap. 21 cars here tonight that will be joining us.
Love to see a solid field like that, 21 cars, so we should have action all up and down the field. Definitely excited to see this. Everybody within half a second here so far, so it's going to be tight racing. Everybody's just going to be, have to be patient and get through as we see Howie Burrows. I don't think Howie got a lap time in.
He did not, actually. I thought he would, but he didn't. Kind of unfortunate for him there, because he was right there. He was right there. And, well, we'll see what happens to him here as we go through. But that is going to be our qualifying over. And we'll go ahead and get the grid brought up for you as we get onto the grid. And as it sets up, let's go down the grid really quick. Tyler Merritt, of course, Thumbsticks is up front. Nobody expects anything less here. John Kreidler in second place. Al Corey in P3. Al Corey's been on a roll recently, so expect big things from Al there. Chad Barron fourth. Sean Bradley in fifth. Jared Jackson P6. Mike Weida, Ashton Rice, Cameron Kane, Jeff Slaughter, Ben Harcum, and Mr. JC John Campbell, Krispy Kreme himself down in P12. We continue on. Matt Harmon, Tex Nichols, Ward Fisher, Jason Minson, John the Naj Crutchley, Grant Parker, Isaac Voss, Michael Seymour, and Howie Burrows in P21. He'll start rear of the field. Is it a last or first challenge for the JPB representation tonight? I mean, we'll see what happens, I'm sure.
Hey, it's got to be fun just being out there, honestly, looking at this field and seeing all these Camaros. So many Camaros in the field tonight. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. I think it was 11 Camaros, 11 Chevys in the field tonight. So lots of love for the Chevys as we get a look at the front end of some of these cars. Now, when we were taking a look there, I did see a couple of liveries go by. One I want to point out there right off the bat, the Mark Martin Valvoline. Absolutely stunning. I love that car. I know we saw, was it a Duff Beer, I think Sean Bradley had? Yep, there's Sean Bradley right there.
The number 6 of Mike Weida is the Valvoline.
Yep. So that's definitely near and dear to my heart. I saw the Batman Mountain Dew. Where is that one?
That one is back. I believe that is, it's not Isaac, it's Grant Parker who is running that one. There he is.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
Does look really good.
Big old fan, man. They always have some very solid liveries here in the triple bypass. That's for sure.
They really do. It's one of my favorite things about triple bypasses. They nail it every time when you start looking at paint schemes. They just do a really good job with setting it up, and it makes me happy. But I got a question for you. What's your caution count for tonight? How many cautions are we gonna have?
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue tonight. I think we're going to have a clean race, less than 3 cautions.
I think it'll be one and done. I think there will be one caution somewhere in the mix, and I think it's one and done.
Oh, and out there in the chat, looks like Howie is in the YouTube chat there. So, yeah, he said that he had some tech issues, but... well, clearly he made it, so maybe he was just trying to get some times or just trying to get some laps in just to get a little practice there. Maybe he didn't really have the chance to really throw down a lap. We'll have to see here.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but it's one lap around this pace car. Pace car dives down low. We're going to be in, and for the Bigfoot Motorsports 80... sponsored by John Kreidler. John Kreidler starts P2, and green flag is in, and we are underway here for 80 laps. Actually, sorry, 115 laps, 80 miles. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. And Mr. Thumbsticks there in the lead. Kreidler there in P2. Al Corey in third place, and Kreidler's going to try to make a move. Al Corey already getting aggressive up the inside, though, as they go around, and we see everyone continues around. I see a little bit of jockeying for position. I see 3 wide in the background up on the high side. No, there's Chad Bear goes around. Chad Bear is going to collect a couple of people, and yellow flag is out. Cameron Kane makes his way through, and it does look like a few people get caught up in that. Howie survives. Chad Bear gets caught up. Jared Jackson gets a big hit there on the front end, and we don't even make it around lap 1.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that you're right, and this is literally the one and done, because, you know, they got off to a good start, then ended up 3 wide. You see Weida getting into the car there, and, you know, that's just drafting, that's just racing, especially early on. They're probably still on these cold tires. No place for them to go there. just unfortunate for all those cars involved there. But yeah, hopefully, like you said, one and done. And looking like the front end of that Supra is not too happy.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of Supras are not too happy, honestly. Looking through, there's Harkham, and you can see, well, the front end of his car is a little dinged up as he comes around.
Yeah, he didn't have any place to go, just kind of ran up into the side there of the spinning car, so unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time. But hey, early in the race, cold tires, 3 wide, these things happen, so hopefully everybody's going to be able to come back from that, and don't see too much damage on Mike Weeda's car there.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, so I think he'll be pretty okay. I think he kind of got away with that one a little bit. I see Ashton Rice into the pits. I see Cameron Kane into the pits. I see Ben Harkham into the pits. No surprise there to see those cars in at the moment. Cameron Kane, well, no, he did get caught up in that. I thought he got away with it, but no, he did get caught up in that. So he is in and he is going around.
You got Tyler Ruelas. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Tyler. Tyler in the chat thinks there's going to be 2 cautions, so we're already down 1 caution. Like I said, I'm saying under 3. But yeah, unfortunate that was so early, but it is what it is. So hopefully we'll get some clean racing in here soon. Yep, the lights are still on the pace car, so at least 1 more lap around. We'll come out of turn 2 onto the backstretch here of this 2-mile monster here in Michigan.
I forget how long a 2-mile track is. Honestly, I forget how long these tracks can be. And they never feel that long, but man, they really can be.
Well, when you're getting around it at 39 seconds, yeah, it's not going to feel that long. But if you ever forget how long a 2-mile track is, just remember it's 2 miles. It's
yeah. And if you can't relate how long 2 miles is, well, just double 1 mile, and that'll be what gets you. So if you need that sort of reminder, just as I do, well, that's your answer.
Yeah, no. This should be, I think, the last lap under the pace car. We'll see if the lights turn off here momentarily, because I think everybody's come through. Everybody should be back up on the lead pack now, or very close to it, so we should be going green here very quickly.
We should be here. I believe this will be, yep, there it is. 1 to green called this time by, and Al Corey up in 2nd place here. Sean Bradley up in 3rd. John Kreidler's lost a couple of places. He's not looking too bad currently, MP5. Jeff Slaughter is, well, no, he's just right there. I don't know why it showed him dropping down the leaderboard. Big losers, of course, Aston Rice, Jared Jackson, Chad Bear, and Ben Harkham, and Cameron Kane losing out big. Howie, though, look at Howie. Up 5 places on the night so far, and he's going to keep it moving and grooving as we come around out of 2. We get ready to go back green here in just a moment, and I think this is going to be an exciting race tonight.
I mean, if the start's any, indication, we already went 3 wide, so yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a blast tonight, so hopefully when they go 3 wide again, we're able to make it through, but aside from that, as we see everybody kind of bunched up there, lights are out on the pace car. They're going to be coming through turns 3 and turn 4. We got 18-degree banking here at Michigan, so not too steep, but definitely plenty wide and plenty fast.
It really is, especially if you think about the fact in qualifying we were hitting 192 going into the corner. So these guys are quick as all get up here as we go through it. And single file restart, gonna be fun. We come around here through turn 4. Pace car is gonna peel off. Al Corey, what can you do to keep up with thumbsticks? Well, that is the big question here. We'll come around, and thumbsticks is gonna have control of the field here. We come around. Barney's got the green flag ready, wait, and there is our green call, and Barney starts waving the flag, and we get away with it very, very fast, and we jump forward, and yep, it is going to be thumbsticks trying to take off with it. Jason Benson in the background already getting around Tex Nichols. Tex Nichols up there on the high line, and he is going to be just trying to hold off for a moment. Everybody seems to be doing fairly decent job of getting their cars back going. Up in the front, it is going to be Sean Bradley trying to get a move on Al Corey. Up the inside, the pass is done down the backstretch, and we continue on lap 5 of 115.
John Bradley making the move there, very nice and smooth. Now he's catching up to the back of Tyler Merritt pretty quickly here, so we might have a battle for the lead momentarily. Yeah, we do, as they come across the start-finish line. That is Sean Bradley trying to put his nose down the inside of your current leader, and we'll see who has the run out of turn 2.
Yeah, and they get it around, and I did just double-check. This was called the Bigfoot 80. And I don't know when it changed into 115, so I double-checked myself there for a moment, and so I'm not sure what got set up wrong. But I am going to blame iRacing, because it's always fun to blame iRacing. Al Corey down into P3 now, and look at this. He's got Mike Weida and John Kreidler both trying to look to make a move around if they can, and Al Corey needs to just kind of settle in, because Mr. John Kreidler here is going to be looking up the inside. He's pretty fast here. He's going to be side drafted with the 6. He's going to get through. He's going to hold the low side here going into 1. And man, they are still side by side, just kind of running for the moment. As soon as I say that, he gets a little loose. The 6 is going to go around there of Mike Weida. He is around in caution number 2 on the night.
He almost held that too. Unfortunately, he just went a little bit too far around. The car's coming up, and that's going to drop him all the way back to the back of the pack. So, unfortunate there, but it's still early. So, luckily, no damage done. I don't think he even hit the wall. I think he was able to keep it out of the wall. So, shouldn't be too bad. Unfortunate that we have our second caution though. So let's jump back out to the YouTube chats. Tyler says he's calling it that there's going to be a rafter going to win tonight in a thriller finish. A rafter, I'm not sure I understand what he means by that, but I agree. I think it's going to be a thrilling finish, that's for sure.
Al Corey, that is all you got to know, is Mr. Al Corey.
Al Corey. Okay.
He goes by Rafter sometimes, so.
Oh, there you go. See, I'm just getting the education tonight that I've always needed, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, every once in a while, we got to mix things up. And ladies and gentlemen, forgive the quick blimp view as we're under caution here. Trying to get a couple of things to reset and just verify that lap count as we go around and get things back going. And I think my lap count is accurate. They do have it set for 115. So I'm going to just very quickly fix our lap count, or our title name. It's now the Bigfoot 115.
Well, there we go. Now we're all on the same page. Not sure what happened there, but it's all good. We got it under control, and that's an extra 35 laps for us tonight. So that's good racing right there. As we see the fake dive into the pit there for Merritt. Almost had Sean Bradley biting on that, but not quite. He's going to stay out, and I think it's way too early. If you're one of these lead cards to come in and change your tires, you've only done 9 laps, and how many of them have been behind the pace car?
Yeah, you really haven't put in any substantial time here in the car, so I don't know if I would hit unless there's damage.
Yeah, I see some of these cars that were involved in that first incident, coming in and getting some fixes done while they can. That makes sense, but I still don't think I'm changing tires.
I wouldn't be at all. And check in with Howie here. He's up into P13 on the night. And still has a pit, is just running nice, smooth, and consistent. So good job, Howie. Keep it up. You're representing JPB well, my friend.
Yeah, JPB out there on track. That's pretty awesome. I guess we both got to kind of pull for him tonight. So good luck, Howie. make James proud.
I promise we're not biased, and I promise you that the commentator's curse is not real here on the JP Broadcasting Network. And just for the record, as I told the guys the other night, because it got pointed out that I have tended to commentator curse almost every race that I've commentated here for Triple Bypass. I'm going to read this formal disclaimer. JP Broadcasting does not claim to be the changers of fate or predictors of the future. While we have amazing magical powers, a sub-British owner to a siren, we do not endorse the commentator's curse. Thank you. I'll be here for as long as James Parfit will not fire me. And we continue on lap 9 of 115. Michael, what is your opinion of the commentator's curse? Does it exist? Does it not exist? What do you think?
How is... Look, the only way I think it actually exists is if, for some reason, the audio gets played inside the car, which would never happen. So if the driver doesn't know you're talking about them, then, I guess they could have the race on YouTube right now, and there is obviously a little delay. So, like whatever. I don't believe in it though. I really don't. I don't think it's logical. I think people make mistakes because people are human.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is straight from the mouth. So there we go.
I'm also a commentator, so no bias there.
Exactly. No bias at all. Anyways, we go around. We're 1 to green here, and Thumbstick's still in the lead. Sean Bradley in P2, Al Corey in P3, and John Kreidler in P4. These top 4 have kind of swapped positions a couple of times on us tonight. Through and through, I thought for a second Thumbsticks was going to be under some pressure, but he's managed to hold on to it. So we'll see where things go as they come around through turns 3 and through turns 4. And they form back up. Double file restart this time. Lap 10 of 115 down. So quick math, 105 laps to go. The pace car is going to peel in. We're going to get ready here with old Barney to get underway again. Whoa, what is that camera? That is not the one I wanted. I wanted Barney here with the flag. There's the green, 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 and we're going to be underway yet again. Let's see how long this one goes green as the guys are going to bring it through, and Thumbsticks gets away well. Sean Bradley gets away pretty decent. Al Corey's there in the mix. He's looking for something. He's going to go high. He's going to juke low. He's trying to find some way through. John Kreidler in the background. Everybody back in the back, 2x2, getting away pretty well through. I see Crutchley and Parker swapping positions back in the back. I see Naj down low. It looks like they might be trying to take things 3 wide, but everybody's trying to stay nice and calm here in the mid-pack at least. And we continue on lap 11 of 115. And Michael, everybody survived that restart.
Yeah, everybody got through that one cleanly, so hopefully this continues to go like that. Sean Bradley, not the best restart he could have had, but he didn't lose position, and now he's right back on the tail of our current leader, Tyler Merritt. So I was going to say, I wonder how long it's going to take for Bradley to bring that gap right back down like he had, and it's taken him about the length of a lap. So that's definitely some pace there for Sean Bradley tonight. But as we take a look here, a little further back in the pack, we see some cars kind of jockeying for position here. Nobody is really making any moves as we see Sean Bradley going for the move.
Sean Bradley, Tyler Merritt here. Now it's side by side coming through. Sean Bradley on the low side. Tyler Merritt trying to hold the high side. Oh, and Tyler bumps the wall. He gets that car real loose, real wiggly. And there we go. New leader, Sean Bradley, as it stands. And we continue along. I tell you what, I wasn't expecting that one to go through that fast. But now Mr. Thumbsticks needs to just settle in, keep it running. I think he'll be okay in the long run.
Yeah, no, these guys set these cars up, generally speaking, since you're only, 1, maybe 2 pit stops tonight, 115 laps. So yeah, you definitely want the car to be set up for longer runs. You're not short stinting by any means. So you want the car to kind of come to you towards the middle to the end of that run. That way you're faster towards the end of the race, obviously. So I know these guys put a lot of work in the way their setups are. So that's going to be very important. But right now he's just hanging on to the back of Sean Bradley, just doing what he needs to do. Don't let him get too far up the road. Just keep that draft and let him drag you around here. Make a mistake.
Yeah, I think right now Thumbsticks is probably thinking about doing a little bit of tire conservation, a little bit of fuel conservation possibly, and just settling in here. Lap 14 of 115 on the books as we continue along. And you can see here that Mr. JC John Campbell has Mr. John the Naj Crutchley back in the background there that is trying to find a move around. He's trying to go high. He's trying to go low. He's trying to go all the way around. And there comes Mr. Matt Harmon, just making a quick name for himself around the low side. He gets around Naj. He's going to keep it going. He's going to keep trying to find a way through. And, well, it looks like he's got a pretty good run on it now. And Harmon's going to clear him to the inside. There we go. Background, I think it's interesting up in the front. They've gotten back to single file, but really back in the back of the pack is where they're still running double file, except for, as I say that, Mr. Kreidler is going to try to dive down the inside of Al Corey. Here we go into turn 3, and he is going to clear him.
Yeah, and I love the way when you pull these corner cams out, like, there's so many different lines here that these drivers can take. Now, we've seen a lot of the moves go to the bottom that were for position, but when you watch these guys coming through, when they're in their groups here, it's lines everywhere around the corner. So that's awesome. really provides great racing, and it really allows these drivers to just kind of have the space that they need to be as fast as they can.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, the big key for them is just having that space and that time and, you know, really sort of settling in. And I'll tell you who hasn't settled in so far this race, Jason Benson. And what do I mean by that? Well, he's up 11 places on the night so far, so he's going to keep things moving. Aston Rice just got a pass done. He's trying to find his way back up. And this mid-pack still running 2x2 as they sit, and they are continuing to run this 2x2 and really just sort of create some action in the mid-pack. They haven't found that single file line, and to be frank, I don't think they're going to anytime soon.
No, these cars, I mean, just 2x2 everywhere you look. It's just impressive that they're able to run these separate lines and still be, you know, relatively the same time around the track. So a lot of options here as we see kind of an accordion effect coming into the corners, and they stretch out a little bit once they leave. So see here if we're able to get a move done, but right now I don't think we're gonna see anything as we see a car down low just up ahead of us.
See who that was. No, Sean Bradley and Tyler Merritt. That's who this is, as Sean Bradley gets passed by Thumbsticks yet again. Thumbsticks back up into the lead here. And that,
I think that's the first time that we've cut over to a pass on the high side. I think so far everything's been low, but it looks like Merritt got around on the high side there.
yeah, that's a pretty unusual one to see that sort of pass happen. That's not ever what I expect. I usually expect low side. And look at Thumbsticks trying to break the draft. He's bringing the car down low and just trying to mix things up a little bit. Back in the background there, Jason Benson trying to hold off Matt Harmon and get around Chad Baer. Chad Baer to the inside here, and Benson to the outside. And I will say, as this race goes on, I think that outside line will become a little bit more viable, but it's just going to be a little bit more viable for the race. It's not going to be a lot. It's just a tiny bit.
They are laying a lot of rubber on that up top line, though. When they seem to get into position, it seems like everybody wants to stay up high. It's only when they're going for an overtake that they really drift down low. But that being said, I mean, obviously a tire wear is going to be a concern, but I don't think they have to worry too much about tires tonight. So, I mean, run that low line as much as you can. It's clearly faster, but everybody seems to be staying up high.
And that...
Well, now they're running through the middle.
Yeah, they're mixing it up. Nobody's really staying consistent. Like, for 1 second we look and everybody's staying one way, and then we blink and talk about it, and then they say, nah, let's mix things up for fun. I'm convinced, because they do all run in a Discord chat together, so I'm convinced that they're all talking to each other, and one of them has the broadcast on, and they go, hey, as soon as the guys say this, let's do something different.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it earlier. There's just so many different lines you can take around Michigan. So that, I mean, it obviously just breeds amazing racing here as we see our race sponsor there, John Kreidler, getting into the mix there. Top three, less than half a second apart.
Yeah, and they're going to just hold the line for the moment is really all Thumbsticks can do. Sean Bradley's going to look for something if he can find it, but really they're just sort of settling through and holding on. These top three are nice and consistent, and Al Corey 1.2 seconds off the leader. He is really just settling in as well. He's trying nothing too crazy. Chad Baer is really where the pressure starts to pick up, because you can see Harmon, Benson, Harcum, and of course JC John Campbell. And well, we pan back a little bit further. It is it's not quite pandemonium yet, but you can tell nobody's really settled into a smooth rhythm, pace, line, anything. They're just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, everybody seems to just be trying to figure out where their rhythm is. Nobody's really seemed to, find that one line, that one groove that just works for them. What we all see, I think that was Howie Burrows getting past John Crutchley there, actually. Down on the bottom as we take a look. Yeah, that is Howie getting past. And he is going to be right up on the back of Jeff Slaughter right here, too. So, moving up the field very nicely for Howie Burrows in that JPP Toyota Supra.
He joked about he was slow, but he's being pretty consistent here, which is really all you can ask for. Jackson and Fisher there battling it out. And I just noticed Chad Baer back in the background here with Matt Harmon. Matt Harmon trying to make this run up the inside on that number 91 of Chad Baer. Can he make this stick into 3 and 4? Well, he's going to look for it here. Up the inside, he's going to hold it along, and can he clear him through 4? Can he clear him on the exit? And doggone if he's not going to try, and he still doesn't have him, and this one's going to continue on for a moment.
Yeah, Chad Baird just completely hanging on the outside there. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for too much longer, though, unless he gets a little bit of push from behind here, but as I say that, that's already job done and dusted. Chad Baird dropping back to 6th, Matt Harmon up into 5th, and you got Jason Benson and Ben Harcum right there, right behind them. So the battle for the top 5 is getting very spicy.
That it is indeed. This top 5 battle will go on for a majority of the race here. We jump on board with Ben Harcum and watch from his perspective for the moment of what he is seeing. The Dr. Pepper advisor there in the CAC, and well, if you don't know what that is, I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to say that corgis are everywhere and you should keep your eyes out. And Dr. Pepper is the best soft drink. Well, I disagree with that, but I am contractually obligated to agree with that as we ride on board here. Ben Harcum going to try to find his way around Benson if he can, and he's not able to at the moment, so he's going to settle in and just follow him down the backstretch one more time. I do want to jump back up to the front here because what I see up front is Mr. Sean Bradley starting to pick some different lines, trying to get his way up towards thumbsticks, and he's getting fairly close.
Yeah, Tyler Merritt is definitely holding on to that lead right now, but Sean Bradley is doing everything he can to stay within that draft radius and just keeping up, but he's under a lot of pressure right now. So not only is he trying to stick with Tyler Merritt, he's doing everything he can just to keep John Kreidler, off his back.
Now we continue down here. I think John Kreidler is the biggest threat for these two as we go. I think Al Corey is in a good position, but I really do think Kreidler is kind of the sleeping agent that we need to keep our eyes on. But we'll jump back a little bit further here. Ben Harcum, very comfortable there in his position. JC John Campbell, and of course, Mr. Aston Rice just a little bit behind as we continue through and they go down into turn 1. Rice is going to look down the inside on JC John Campbell. Can he make this one stick? Well, he's going to try to, at least in that number 65. Can he clear him out of 2? And not quite. He's going to slide back in there behind JC, and we'll settle in.
He's going to have a really good run coming off of 4, though, so this is going to be tight. I don't think he's going to be quite there coming off of 4, but I think he's going to have a good opportunity coming out of 2 this lap round.
Now we'll see where he can bring himself around. He comes through 4. It looks like he is getting a little bit closer to that side-by-side setup that he needs going into 1. We'll see if he can really work with that. He slides back up behind, and now
he had to back out of that.
Yeah, he backed out a lot, actually. Look at him. Now he's all the way up on the high line.
I wonder what happened there. Maybe I didn't see any lockups. I didn't see any slides. Obviously, we're not in cars, so we didn't hear, but it seemed like he had the pace and just completely lifted.
Yeah, that was a very weird one. I don't know what happened with him there. Check it back a little bit further yet again. Naj Crutchley here in P number 13. He's had a bit of a run time and time again on Jeff Slaughter. We'll see if he can settle into a pass somewhere. And, well, we need to check back up front yet again because this battle, well, not a lot's changed, but unfortunately for some people, not a lot's changed here. Mr. Sean Bradley still in second place as they sit, and Thumbsticks in first, and Kreidler in third, and Corey in fourth, and they are just really holding on. But Harmon is in P5.
Yeah, Harmon is definitely having a quiet race here so far, just kind of holding on to that P5 at the moment. But, I mean, with Chad Baird, Jason Benson, and Ben Harcum right behind him, you always got to be aware of what's going on. Kind of like seeing Al Corey, fourth place, just running his own race, just waiting for the leaders to make a mistake. He's not quite in striking distance at the moment, but he is not far off, and he is not letting these guys get away. So if something happens here, specifically right here in this battle, I think the battle for second place here with Bradley and Kreidler, that's just going to, work into Al Corey's hands for just being patient and running his own race and just holding on, really, just staying consistent. That's what you got to do, lap in, lap out. There's 115 laps around a 2-mile oval, lots of different lines. You just have to work your way and try to be as consistent as you possibly can and, just hope that the leaders make a mistake.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I think that's the hardest part, is just kind of holding on to the faith that the leaders can make a mistake, because they're so consistent, they're so smooth. It's such a tall ask sometimes, but it can't happen. I will tell you, it can happen. You just got to kind of hold your breath and keep the faith alive as long as you can here. And again, that's sometimes easier said than done. Lap 31 of 115 now down as we go through. And again, everyone's kind of hit this single file sort of stagnant run, and they just kind of hold on to it here. Nothing too wild happening. And it's one of those that it doesn't surprise me, but it's also sort of shocking at the same time that things have really settled into where they have. So I'm wondering who's going to be the first one to jump? Who's going to be the first one to look for something? And do we know what the fuel run is like? Does anyone know what the fuel run is like? Because I surely do not.
Ooh, that's a wall tapper right there for our race sponsor here. Kreidler getting all over the back end. He's going to have an opportunity coming through the next lap, I think. That's for sure. But yeah, no, we've seen some pretty good racing, but people are starting to kind of file out. I think the drivers are finally starting to find that one groove that, works for them. Maybe start a little bit high coming into turn one and then just continue to drop low. Yep, see, they're coming all the way out and then just continuing to drop low through the corner. Mid-corner here, when you see the exit, they are almost all the way down to the bottom there. So yeah, I think at least as far as these leaders have gone specifically, they are definitely... Kreidler, did something happen with Kreidler?
Don't think so. He's still right there.
Okay. I thought he was closer and then he wasn't, so that just a mistake of my eyes.
I think it's just the camera angle sometimes catches off guard, because it does that to me every once in a while. And here we go back in the back with Jeff Slaughter here trying to run on the inside. He's got the 51 there ahead of Jackson. Rice is trying to make a pass around the outside. We've seen Rice working that high line against the wall time and time again, and we'll see if he does it again here through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's just holding onto that high line, just keeping the pedal down, really, and just slingshotting it around, and he's able to make that work for him on that lap, that's for sure. And he's got even more pace, so he's basically making 2 moves on the space of 2 corners. Excellent job there by Aston Rice.
Yeah, Aston Rice, very, very clean move there. You can see that high line turn 1 and 2 really works. We'll see if anyone picks up on that through the long run here as we continue in the green. Sean Bradley under a lot of pressure from Kreidler. Can Kreidler get his way up into second place here? And we'll see if he's able to. And it looks like at the moment he loses some time, so they will sort of hold on where they're at. There we go. Again, around the outside goes Rice. Rice really likes that high line in 1 and 2, and man, if it ain't working for him. And guess who's trying to follow that high line 1 and 2? Mr. Howie Burrows. He gets 1 pass done on Naj. Can he get Jeff Slaughter here into 3? Yeah, they're gonna take it 3 wide into turn 3. Guys, let's breathe a little bit. And Howie just holds the high line. He says, you know what, guys? You do what you want. I'm going to take this around. And now it's Naj and Slaughter that are going to battle. And Howie just holds the high line there. And oh, that was Aston Rice diving real hard into the grass. What just happened to him?
He just lost the rear end. I'm not sure if he was tapped or he just lost it on his own. We'll have to get a replay here. Oh, touches the wall.
Man, he is very lucky to have slid the way he did and took nobody else with him.
That could have been a very, very, very nasty moment for quite a few drivers. So yeah, lucky he survived that. Just holding on for another day, I guess.
I mean, big thing is if you hit the grass, keep the wheel straight and just say a prayer. That's all you got to do. And well, he did all those things and did very well. Howie Burrows here going around. Jeff Slaughter blinking a little bit in the background. Nothing to be concerned about though as we go. And I see Naj Crutchley is dropping way down the order. I'm not sure what's happened to him though. You see him there in the background, but Howie is trying to look for a pass here somewhere, and up front it is, Kreidler's gotten past Bradley. Corey's crunched up to the back of them, and Thumbsticks there is still just thumbsticking away.
Yeah, Kreidler getting up into second place, but Bradley not really letting him get too far away. This battle is really just bringing out Corey right back into the mix of things. Just being patient, just waiting for things to come to him. So we see your boy Thumbsticks there, Tyler Merritt just getting off to a little bit of a gap there, about 0.6 of a second. I think that's That's about the biggest we've seen the lead so far this evening. Obviously, it's not too big, but enough for him to kind of hang his hat on and just be a little comfortable, I would assume.
Yeah, it's all he really needs. And if you're wondering about how John Kreidler got past Sean Bradley, here's your replay. Down the main straight, they went. And this is where it really started. And frankly, that's where it finished. Sean Bradley tried to hold the high line and then just let John Kreidler have it. Came back down low, and they kept that going for a little bit. And then, well, we end up back here where we are with Al Corey right on the back of Sean Bradley. And they continue along. But still, the action is the mid-pack, really. So we have Cameron Kane further back here trying to get past Mr. Aston Rice there for P14. And it does look like Cameron Kane is going to get this pass done around the high line, actually. And we'll see if he holds it there into 1 and 2.
Yeah, things are getting very, very, very strange with these lines. People are starting to really open it up. We saw that everybody had kind of stopped moving around and everybody was kind of stuck in that one groove around kind of the middle of the track. But now we're seeing people really just using the top line. The top line is becoming extremely fast. So we've already seen a bunch of overtakes from cars over the outside. As we see here, it looks like Chad Baer is coming into the pits. So Chad is the first to blink. These are our first green flag pit stops, I do believe.
Yeah, Chad Baer's in. That's going to bring in Jared Jackson, Jeff Slaughter, Aston Rice, Mike Weida, and Grant Parker. And that is going to really, really mix this field up here around this 2-mile track. We'll see how much it mixes up. That is, I mean, I don't have a good answer for you here of what happens there. Benson and Harmon battling. Mr. Jason Benson to the inside of Matt Harmon for P5. And now they continue on around here. We'll see, does anyone else in this front pack decide that they want to pit and sort of pull the punch? And it does look like Sean Bradley is going to be the first of the leaders to blink of that front pack that we kept watching, the top 4. He is the first one to blink here, and he is going to go in.
Yeah, so if you're somebody like Sean Bradley, you're kind of just looking for clear track. Obviously, you know, on your super speedways, you always come in with somebody else. That way you have somebody to draft with to get back up to speed. Not such an issue here where you have to worry about that. You can kind of just run your own pace. As we see, it looks like he's getting 4 tires. Yep. All the way around there. So Sean Bradley getting away. That was a nice clean pit stop there. And we'll see what his overall time in the pit lane was. 14.65 seconds, I do believe. So not too bad.
Yeah, and Matt Harmon is in now. We'll see what happens with him. Thumbsticks is still up front, still has John Kreidler for company. Sean Bradley is going to exit out ahead of them. That's very, very important. So he is not a lap down, and that is that's a blessing right there for Sean Bradley, that he is not going to be a lap down from them. So we'll see if the story remains the same when these two come in, whenever that may be, as they come around. And they don't come in now, so they'll keep it running. Al Corey stays out as well. And the big question for them is, you know, do they have enough time on Sean Bradley? Because every lap Sean Bradley goes around, that gap is going to close little by little. And we saw just how close it was.
Yeah, and you know, John Kreidler really showed up to race tonight with the sponsorship, but see him all over the back there of Tyler Merritt. He's trying to win his own race tonight. You can see it. He's got the pace. He has been very patient, and I mean, I would definitely. I'm gonna call it right now. I think tonight's race is gonna be won by John Kreidler or Kreidler.
I could see it through. Thumbsticks in the pits, Al Corey in the pit. John Kreidler is gonna stay out, and let's watch Sean Bradley here as he comes around. And I think that is gonna be really the big question for me: is did they cover off Sean Bradley, or did Sean Bradley cover them off? We'll keep our eyes on it at the moment as he is following behind Chad Baer. Corey's in the pits, Merritt's in the pits. Everyone else continues on around.
We see these guys. I mean, the draft here is obviously, you know, important, but like I said, not as important on your outlap as some of the super speedways. But Sean Bradley has got to be so happy having that car right in front of him. That's Chad Baer, is it not?
That is indeed Chad Baer as they continue around here, and
yeah, he's on the lead lap there.
It does look like they covered off Thumbsticks, as Thumbsticks is just now out of the pits. Al Corey is just now out of the pits, so Sean Bradley picked up the lead just through pit stops, and Chad Bear might have as well. Oh, that was swirly for both of them for just a moment.
Yeah, Chad Bear didn't go in too long ago. Let me see here. Pit lap 39, so he's only 1 lap older than Bradley. So yeah, no, that Chad Bear really making up a ton of positions there off the just going into the pits first.
Yeah, and I mean that's really what you got to do is you got to just do a little something there, and find a way through. And for Chad, it was all about that pit time, and very, very good one for him. So that is important on his side. Now the key is, can he keep up? As Sean Bradley has gotten past, and well, we see that Benson. It shows Benson in the lead. Benson's now in the pits. That'll cycle itself back around.
Yeah, and another thing, these drivers are going to compartmentalize what exactly just happened here. Seeing Chad Bear go all the way up the field, seeing Sean Bradley take the lead, now seeing how far back Tyler Merritt is from Sean Bradley. I mean, the next round of pit stops, you're going to want to try to undercut the car in front of you because it's clearly extremely powerful. Come in before the car ahead of you pits, get that fresh rubber, lay it down, and just get back up to speed and hope that they stay out another lap or two longer on old used rubber.
Yeah, and I think these guys will be fairly okay with that. We'll see here in the long run if that truly does work out for him or not here. Merritt 1.9 seconds back on Sean Bradley, and Chad Bear 0.4 of a second back. He's really sticking with him. So you can see there, if you look at the track map on the top right, just how much the field has sort of spread out and is going through. Really our biggest battle right now is John Kreidler and Matt Harmon as they continue to battle their way around. And I think everyone has cycled pit stops now officially through that pit stop cycle. Everyone's gotten in, everyone's gotten out, so we can take official stock of where things are. Bradley, Bear, Merritt, Harmon, Kreidler, Corey, Harcum, Rice, Fisher, and Jackson, your top 10 here.
Yeah, and, Matt Harmon, another one of those guys that made up a ton of positions by coming in early. Being battling for 4th place right now, trying to hold on for dear life to John Kreidler, who was literally just battling for the lead. So, really, the biggest loser here so far, I think, is going to be Al Corey, falling back all the way back to 6th place. So, unlucky for Al, staying out a little bit longer, and just wasn't able to get that pace up to speed. As we see, Merritt has taken a full second. That gap is now down under a second, about 8.5 tenths of a second there. So Merritt is absolutely flying right now.
Yeah, I don't know where Thumbsticks found some pace, but he opened it up and he's gotten things going, and he's going to continue along down the inside of Chad Bear. Good pass from him, and now he just needs to continue on around here. We'll see what he can do to catch Sean Bradley. Gap 0.4 of a second. Sean Bradley just off the left-hand side of the screen under the timing tower. You start seeing them come into your screen now as the camera pans. They come into turn 3, and man, look at the speed difference. What in the world? Where did that come from? Because now Thumbsticks is right on the back of Sean Bradley, and the question will be, what could Sean Bradley do to keep him behind? But with that much pace, that much overspeed, I don't know if there's a lot he can really do.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of surprised there is that much of a pace gap. With Tyler Merritt, 3-lap old tires, or 3-lap younger tires, clearly has a ton of pace on them. So did Sean Bradley just, use the rubber way too hard, way too much on his outlap, and just, he was trying so hard not to go a lap down that he used a little bit too much of that rubber? So we see him giving a little bump draft there in the background.
Yeah, I don't know if that is it, but it definitely could be if you've overdrove it through the first few laps. That could cost you pace. Last lap, 40.2 to a 40.8, but man, that much of a pace difference? I don't know.
Yeah, but Sean Bradley, until he got on the back here, Tyler Merritt, until he got, behind Sean, or in front of Sean Bradley, was in the 39s. So I'm a little suspect that those 39s are going to come right back for Tyler Merritt. Yeah, that last lap of 40.1. So, yeah, 0.4 difference between 1 lap and only 3 lap older tires.
Yeah,
or 3-lap younger tires.
that is such a difference. It's very surprising to me that there's that much of a difference going right now as we continue along here.
And he's already pulled that 0.8 gap up on him.
Man,
Like, where is this pace coming from? Did he make any pit stop adjustments? Maybe something with the aero. He figured out something. Was able to do a quick adjustment and just found that extra pace, because this is impressive the way that Tyler Merritt's just shot himself out of a cannon coming out of that pit cycle.
he sent this one along. He said, "You know what? I'm not hanging around for anything. We'll just go ahead and get this out of the way really quick." And I'm going to jump back. This is a battle for P10 that is starting to form here between Burrows, Weeda, and Slaughter. And yes, Burrows is in Howie Burrows, the Brit. He is looking pretty pacey here, trying to find his run, and he's holding on right to the back of Mike Weeda. He's looking consistent. Is a top 10 in the cards for him? Well, we'll find out here. Lap 53 of 115 in the books now, and we go through. Let's jump back up here with John Kreidler, because now John Kreidler's under pressure by Matt Harmon as this gap is continuing to open. Look at that, 7 seconds between Kreidler and Merritt, and the gap will continue to open through.
Yeah, and before they came into the pits, it was, I think, 0.3 of a gap between Kreidler and Merritt, so Merritt's just another half second. He just pulled out another half second. The gap to Sean Bradley is now 1.5 seconds. It's insane. Wherever Tyler Merritt's getting this pace from, I just don't understand it. This came out of nowhere. The first half of the race, the first 40 laps, everybody was pretty well, pretty equal. Your top 3-4 guys were, all running together. But now, just Tyler Merritt is just absolutely just turned on the afterburners.
Yeah, he is absolutely sending it through. It's so surprising, too, just to see such a difference hit his way. He's going to try to keep it. I don't think he can keep the pace up forever. That's the big thing, is I don't think he can keep that pace up forever.
Well, he's been pretty consistent about it so far. That last lap was a 40.735. Sean Bradley was a 41.1, so that's half a second right there on that one lap. He's able. There has to be some sort of wing adjustment he did, because looking at his top speed, he's able to hit a 192.9 on the back straight. So unless that was, that could be in a draft situation, obviously, but no, I think that was the last lap there. Yeah. So up front, he's able to hit almost 193 by himself. John Bradley only managing a 191.
Absolutely insane to see such a pace difference. We'll see how it goes long term here as we continue around. And the guys are just going. Really, what's kind of caught my eye is that the mid-pack is where the battle is really starting to open up.
We see Howie Burrows did get that job done on Mike Weeda. Mike Weeda had an unfortunate incident early on in the race, dropped him all the way back to the end of the pack. He's back up to 11th. He was in 10th, but Howie Burrows just coming through the field, slicing through it like a hot knife through butter. He started originally from the very back of the pack, and he is now up to 10th place. So excellent race here by Howie Burrows, right on the back of Aston Rice. Sorry. Right on the back here of Aston Rice as we see these guys. Aston's going to take that high line. He had been taking that high line for a while, and he just has that much grip, that much speed coming off the corner. Howie had started to take that high line, but he's trying to switch it up, do a little something different here to try to get the move done.
Yeah, and I think the big question is, what can he do different to get the move done? He's going to try, but I don't know what will stick for him. It's going to be... I think really if he finishes right now in P10, I think that's a good run for the day. I think that's a pretty successful run for a driver that said he wasn't that fast. Last I talked to him, I think he'll be pretty pleased with a top 10. But
oh, yeah.
Especially against these guys.
Yeah, Triple Bypass League is very, very competitive. These guys are extremely fast. So, yeah, just be able to, put your name on the list here and just kind of keep up with them. That alone is extremely impressive. So Howie Burrows really having a solid night tonight. I know it's still early, but still very, very solid run up into the top 10.
Yeah, lap 60 of 115 here, and you can see Al Corey trying to chase down Matt Harmon, and is just right there. He's right on the tail. I mean, at this point as a driver, we're so far into this long run. We haven't had a caution since lap number 3. So as a driver, you're on this real deep, long run here, and you really got to just stay focused. And I'm gonna ask, what do you do to stay focused on these long runs? What is your trick of the trade for when you're running these big, long races to stay focused?
Me personally, I know this is kind of the wrong answer, but me personally, I try to think less. I basically try to just clear my mind. The only thing that I'm focusing on is each corner coming up. Like, nothing else matters. Obviously what's going on around you, but aside from that, I'm just trying to think about the least amount of things as possible. That way I don't get distracted, and I'm just able to focus on the next corner, the next braking point, the next corner. That just always trying to just stay focused on what's ahead and nothing else.
Yeah, see, I have a very hard time with that. So that's why I like to ask someone else, because I don't have a good answer for you as to how to do that, because I'm not good at that at all. And it becomes a problem.
Luckily for me, there's not too much going on inside my head, so it's easy for me to clear my thoughts.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I can understand that. The issue is I have too much going on in my head at all times.
A little bit of a wall tap there. I've seen a couple cars hit the wall coming out of turn 2 there, and it doesn't really seem to be affecting them too much. We'll see if maybe as we get a little further along in the race, the damage starts piling up a little bit more. But I mean, I've seen a number of cars coming out of 2 tap that back wall. Coming onto the straight here. Let's see what happens here. As Harmon is trying to chase down Al Corey. Al Corey has moved himself back up into the top 5. Only one place down from where he was before the pit cycle now. And just checking in with our leaders, Tyler Merritt up to 3.5 second lead. 3.4 seconds up on Sean Bradley. So that pace, I mean, he slowed it down a little bit, but he's still consistently faster.
Yeah, and looking at the pace difference, 41.3 to a 41.6 last lap. So still plenty of pace to be found in Tyler Merritt's car, and really he's holding on to it. I don't know what you do in that situation if you're Sean Bradley. I think you just kind of accept it, let it run, and let it go. About the best they got. And I do want to point out, if you look at that track map in the top right, you got P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, 5 and 6 are together. That is Corey and Harmon. And then 7th place all the way back to P17 are all bunched together right there in this big pack that's on your screen now. And it's all headed up by one Mr. Well, I want to say it's headed up by a Mr. Burrows, but it's truly not, because it's 7th place back, which is Mr. Ben Harcum, who starts it all. And then you see Aston Rice is in the mix. There is Slaughter. There is Benson. And then there is Howie Burrows with Cameron Kane.
As we see Howie going to the bottom there, and Cameron Kane trying to take the top on Burrows. Burrows did drop back a few positions. He was up in the top 10, but not sure if he made a mistake or what happened there, because he definitely losing a little pace here. Does he have damage on the right side of that Supra?
He has some pretty big damage on the right side of that Supra. I'll see if I can get us a good camera shot of it here as we go through. And really the best time to get that shot is going to be as he comes through turns 3 and 4 here coming around. And, well, yeah, there's your right front. Well, it was a nice right front. I'm guessing there was a wall tap somewhere that we missed, and that has unfortunately put him in a certain little predicament.
Yeah, no, this is definitely something that's you kind of gotta feel bad for him. He's had a great race, really been extremely competitive, battling up into the top 10, and one mistake, lack of focus, tapping a wall a little bit too hard, that'll really kind of just ruin your race as he falls back to 15th, and he is under pressure still as we jump up front here. This is Sean Bradley trying to do everything he can to get back up there and get back on the lead, but Tyler Merritt is not letting that happen. 3.67 seconds here is the gap. So Tyler Merritt, I mean, we're going to be probably about halfway through this stint now. Would you say, give or take? I think we did have a few laps under caution, so going to lap 40, 43, I mean, so we're probably going to see pits within the next 15 laps or so, I would say.
I'd say that's probably accurate. That seems right based on most of the drivers went to around lap 40 to 45 on their first run. But there is, I would say around lap 80, I would expect the next round of pit stops at least. So we'll see. I don't know.
They might have cut the first stint short because 1/4 almost of that first stint, the first 40 laps, almost 10 laps of that was under the pace car. So they were definitely able to conserve fuel in there. So, I mean, I'm not sure they're going to make it all the way to lap 80 now that I really start to think about it. Like, I mean, it's going to be close, but, I could be wrong. You know, they always prove me wrong. They always know what they're doing, and I try to guess a pit stop strategy, and I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, don't worry, me too. That's part of why I've stopped trying to guess it so often here. As we continue to watch, this is just Mike Weida trying to get around Aston Rice. I'm going to jump back up to the front here because Sean Bradley has Chad Bear and Kreidler for company. Al Corey is quite a bit further back to them, and if you wonder how far, well, it's an entire, probably about half a mile difference there if I had to guesstimate distance. So pretty big pace difference going on here now as we continue on. Lap 69 of 115 on the books. And, well, Tyler Merritt is sitting right behind Naj Crutchley and has been stuck there for a little bit. He hasn't gotten around Naj. He hasn't lapped Naj. He's just been there.
Yeah, just kind of hanging on to the bumper there, maybe using a little bit of the draft just to, save a little fuel possibly. But, yeah, he looks comfortable there. He's almost a 4-second lead up, so it's not like he has to force the issue here. You see him dropping down below the apron there, coming back up. What kind of line is our race leader taking? Staying up top, and he brings it down mid-corner. So, there's a car very high up top there. Is that Chad Bear? Oh, that was Jeff Slaughter. My apologies. I'm not sure if he made contact or not, but he definitely had to back out of that one.
Yeah, I don't know why he found himself so high. I just happened to catch that out of the corner there as we went. And here's Chad Bear and Sean Bradley. And this gap, 1/4 of a second as they run through. So Chad Bear is, I believe, going to be in the fight for second place now as we continue through yet again here. Countdown's coming in, and well, we've had, 2 cautions on the night? Am I wrong with that?
So far, yeah, we've only had the 2, one on lap 1 and then one around lap 7. It wasn't too far after the start of the race. But yeah, ever since then, we've been green, been able to keep it calm. These drivers all know what they're doing here as we see Mike Weida is trying to move back up through the field. Got Aston Rice, and that is Ward Fisher as well. Ward Fisher in the 84. We haven't really talked about Ward Fisher too much tonight as we see Mike Weida trying to take the bottom. He's going to be side by side, so this is going to be a drag race down the back straight and into turn 3. We'll see if Weida is able to keep it down on the bottom there. If he is, he's probably going to have a run out of the corner and take this position. It looks like he's going to be able to do so, and we'll have to see here, but another car getting very high up there. These 2 guys almost touched there.
Yeah, they're still battling through. Fisher, Rice, Weida, they're all in the mix here, and Benson is through. And I do want to point out that Mr. Howie Burrows has went for the pits fairly early, lap 72 of 115, and he has decided to go in and out of the pits. We exit out of 2. Those 2 are still side by side. And look at the 6 get a little loose there. Look at Mike Weida get a little loose as they come down. He has to settle it back in, and he is going to settle in behind Mr. Ward Fisher here and continue on his way yet again as we watch these 4 really battle it out. They're very close together. Not far ahead of them is Ben Harcum there, who is not too far away from Aston Rice. Aston Rice continuing to slowly but surely reel him in. Sean Bradley, lap after lap, is getting more and more pressure by Chad Bear. And I tell you what, the action is starting to heat up here as it goes. There's Chad Bear making the move down into turn 3 around the inside of Sean Bradley. Can he make it stick is the question. He's got the position right now through the middle of the corner. Can he hold it through the exit? Well, it looks like he's going to slide it up and hold on to it. And he barely cleared himself high.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to shine his rear bumper on the front bumper there of Sean Bradley. That was extremely close, but just enough space given there. We've seen Chad Bear has quietly run a very, very quick race. He's been kind of in the middle pack, and then ever since that pit cycle was able to cycle his way up into 3rd place, now moving up into 2nd place. So we'll see if Chad is able to, cut into this lead here of a Tyler Merritt. But right now they are dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. Everybody's staying low, and we are good to go.
Yeah, and that lap traffic there on the high side, that is going to be Mr. Grant Parker, who is going through and around on the high side. Mike Weida is into the pits, so we're starting to see the 2nd round of pit stop cycles at a little bit different time than I expected. And Al Corey, very early into the pits compared to where he was last time. I think he has decided that this time he does not want to get caught out on a off-cycle pit and lose any positions. I think they've realized the power of the pit stop, and we'll see what happens for him there as we continue through and continue on. Sean Bradley's there, Chad Bear's there, but I really thought they'd go about 5 more laps and try to settle this into lap 80 or so that way they could run it just straight to the end with no issues. I worry now, if you're pitting lap 75 and 115, I worry that you're going to have to conserve a little bit.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to conserve a little bit. You might not be able to make it stretch, but unfortunately we don't really know how much fuel they were able to save under the cautions, so it's kind of throwing my fuel window off a little bit. I know we said lap 80, we've already seen people coming in, so it definitely makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to have to see one more splash and dash before the end of the night, though. As we see, Chad Bear is starting to pull a little bit of gap there on Sean Bradley, and Kreidler is sneaking up right behind Sean. Probably going to be trying to make his presence known here momentarily.
Yeah, he's Chad Bear's pulling a little bit of a gap, but I don't think it's enough for anything. And, as you pointed out, Kreidler, he's been silently back there. So we'll see here in the long run what he can make happen if he's able to get a pass done. And I think that's going to be... It's going to be close. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close here. We'll see what happens with him. Cameron Kane still on the back of Benson, still holding on there. And, of course, they have Mr. Aston Rice just up ahead as they continue to battle on. And, man, look at the pace.
Yeah, these guys are really flying around the outside there. And as we see Aston holding on for dear life as he's got Benson right behind him. And up top there, he's also got Campbell. I'm sorry. No, that's Ward Fisher, isn't it?
It's Cameron Kane. Ward Fisher's in the 84 there just behind him. You got Benson there, too, though. So they're all kind of hanging out
Aston
together.
Rice coming into the pits here now. Tex Nichols is in the pits. So Aston didn't want to have anything to do with that. He said, I'm going to try to undercut both of you and see you later in the race.
Can't say I blame him, really. And I did just notice that Al Corey has gone down a lap on the leaders. Well, it's not the best of omens for him here as we continue around through. We'll see what happens for him. There's Merritt running around. That's the number 92 back behind him. And the number 92 is, of course, Isaac Voss there in P13 that he has now put a lap down as we continue on around here. But, of course, Thumbsticks does have to pit eventually. The question, I guess, just becomes when, as the field is really starting to spread out here with the pit stop cycles going along.
Jumping back out to YouTube chat real quick, Howie says that they got a speeding on a pit road penalty. So unfortunate there for Howie Burrows. Howie is now 3 laps down. I apologize.
Oh, come on, Howie. You got to make sure you always practice those green flag pit stops. That's very, very important.
It's so easy to lock a front tire coming into pit lane in these NASCAR ovals. These cars don't have any ABS, so it's easy to lock a front, carry a little bit too much speed in, and next thing you know, You getting that black flag for the penalty.
It really is easy, and it is something that I always talk about it every week. You really got to make sure. Al Corey, hello, where did you come from, sir? That is some pace sending around the inside there of Sean Bradley. Al Corey unlapping himself in the mix here, and we'll see what he can do. He's going to jump back up in front of Sean Bradley. Man, Al Corey just said, you know what? See ya. I'm going to go here and get out of the way. He's now gotten around Sean Bradley. Sean Bradley has yet to pit here. John Kreidler is in the pits, so we'll see where Al Corey goes in terms of everyone, but he's now only a couple of seconds off of thumbsticks. So I think we see that slightly earlier pit stop is paying off for him.
Yeah, as we see, Tyler Merritt is done with his pit cycle. But yeah, no, Al Corey has definitely caught up quite a bit, really cut down to that lead. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here. As Sean Bradley, obviously the undercut worked very well for him for the first few laps, and then everything just kind of fell apart when when Tyler Merritt just kind of took off and left him. But we'll see here as we got a nice little battle that is Bear holding on. Barely holding on there.
Bear's barely holding on. I see what you did there. I think this is your battle for the win, honestly, as we come around lap 82 of 115. I think this is the battle for the win as it sits, and Corey is not too far off. He's battling for a podium here tonight as it sits. He's trying to hold off Mr. Matt Harmon, and Matt is trying to hold off John Kreidler.
Yeah, they are battling tooth and nail here. Jump back out to Howie in the YouTube chat one more time. Howie looks like he's hanging his head a little low. He said it was on pit exit, not pit entry. So just jumped on the throttle a little too hard, a little too quick on pit exit, and that's how he got the penalty. So that means, that is just rough, man. Sorry to hear that, Howie. But we take a look at this battle. Merritt has taken that position from Bear, but I agree. I think this is your de facto race for the lead. Obviously, like current de facto lead, but race winning lead. I agree. I think that's exactly what we're looking at right here. Unfortunately, I do think we might have to do another splash and dash. I don't think they're going to be able to make it all the way to the end of the race.
They're going to have to do some heavy conserving. Look back here with John Kreidler. You got Mr. Matt Harmon, you got Rice, you got Harcum, you got Kane, you got Naj there in the mix, and Tex Nichols. Like, you got plenty of cars all mixed up right here that are battling through, and we'll see how that happens for them as you now have Sean Bradley trying to get past Al Corey, and he clears Al Corey. Plenty clear there. Al Corey now down into a de facto P4, as we go along and continue.
Yeah, de facto P4, like you said, Sean Bradley right there. Bradley has held on, not too far off this race here, so these pit cycles have really mixed things up a little bit, but we still see the pace up front there by Tyler Merritt. Your boy Thumbsticks just absolutely showing everybody how it's done tonight, even pulling a bit of a gap here now on Chad Bear. Chad Bear has been extremely quick all night long. We see John Campbell. JC John Campbell is in the pits, so I believe that is everybody that has gone through the cycle has pitted. So lap 85 of 115.
Yeah, so I think John Campbell can make it to the end. I just question if some of the other drivers can make it to the end, especially like Al Corey, who pit in early. I'm seeing like Cameron Kane, Mike Weida in the number 6, who pit in on lap 73. Some of them, I wonder if they'll make it to the end or not, but I think for the most part, everyone should be okay-ish, and that is my very politically polite way of saying I have no clue if everyone makes it to the end or if nobody makes it to the end, so please do not come after me, YouTube chat, for the things of which I speak.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. If I'm Al Corey, Matt Harmon, or Aston Rice, I question whether or not coming in that early, or Mike Weida too. Mike Weida down in 10th place, came in on lap 73. So I really question, was that a bit too early? Yeah, you're trying to get the pace from the undercut. You're trying to make some moves. Well, you can, sometimes the pace on the track isn't everything. You got to, use your pit strategy to make an overtake. These things happen. It's all part of racing. So but I just wonder if maybe these drivers just came in a little bit too early. 73, 75, 74, 70, 77 is not so bad there for Aston Rice. We see the leaders all came in at lap 79 to 80 and 81, so I think you're right. I think the leaders are going to be okay, but it's going to be very, very close there for a couple of these drivers, most notably Al Corey and Mike Weida.
Yeah, I'm interested to watch the sort of long term of what happens for them and really see where their impact comes in for them and how that works. Chad Bear is still right on the back of Tyler Merritt. He hasn't lost too much time. Tyler's not running away like he had been, which is probably a good thing for all involved. Sean Bradley is running slightly faster times by just a tenth or so than the top two, so we'll see if he can find any sort of pace here. But for the most part, everyone's spread out. There's really nobody close to another car on track right now, other than Tyler Merritt and Chad Bear. And this is sort of that near the end of the race lull where they're trying to settle in. They're just trying to make the end of the race now. Everyone just wants to survive this race, get to the end, get the points on the board here, and get things moving. Quick note, this was supposed to be the season finale, but of course iRacing had some DDoS attacks recently, last month I believe it was. So the race season finale will be next week at Nashville Fairgrounds. That was originally supposed to be about a month or so ago. But again, iRacing DDoS attacks, so you'll get one more triple bypass race on the 22nd of August. I can't officially confirm that it's announced, or that it's going to be streamed, but I do know that there is the possibility. I've been told to make sure my schedule's clear, so we'll see what happens with that here for them tonight. And I'm sure if that does come to fruition, you'll know before me. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bells, everything for the JP Broadcasting Network. That way you can know if we are going to be broadcasting that race or not. I would be surprised if we don't, but I can never guarantee anything. That is not a guarantee that that's broadcast. That is just me telling you the season finale is next Thursday.
Yeah, no, that should be an exciting race here as we see these cars kind of making up the midfield pack here, coming around. Everything has kind of settled down a little bit. Not really too many battles as we look at the track map. I don't really think there's any real close battles at the moment.
There's really not. Aston Rice and Ben Harkham are a little close here by about half a second. Michael Seymour, Mike Weida, they're a little bit close here as well. That's Ward Fisher, who is a lap down. He's not battling for position through, and the number 51 there of Jared Jackson is right behind. It's not really for position, but it is 2x2, so we'll keep our eyes on it for a second because we get down to the 25 to go marker, and this is where you've really got to hold your breath, and these guys are they're gonna start turning up the heat, getting a little more feisty as we go, and that'll be the big thing for them is who gets too aggressive, who overdrives the car, and who has the tires to actually make that one work. I don't have a good answer for you, but I can tell you right now, Al Corey and Matt Harmon getting under some pressure here up front. Al Corey needs to hold off Harmon because Al Corey is currently on pace for a top 5 finish.
Yeah, Al Corey's desperately trying to hold on this top 5 right now. He was up in the top 4 earlier, but unfortunately that window is slowly closing as we see he's about 10 seconds off there. Yeah, he's about 10 seconds off there from Kreidler. So this battle for 5th position here is going to be everything for Al Corey. He's got some very quick competition coming up right behind him. That's Matt Harmon right there. Aston Rice is in there. Ben Harkham is right there. So this is definitely going to be very stressful moments here, these last 23 laps or so here for Al Corey, whether or not he's able to hold on, because this is really starting to shape up as we see another battle a little bit further down the field.
This is going to be Jackson and Seymour battling here. Going into turn 1 side by side, Jackson on the inside in the 51, Michael Seymour on the outside in the number 87 Navy paint scheme as we go around, and these two are just holding side by side. Keep the car together, guys, and they do a very good job. And now Mr. JC John Campbell is going to get in the mix, and of course Mr. Mike Weeda is right back there as well, so we'll see how that one shapes up. They continue to battle around here, and it does seem like for the moment Jackson is going to be behind Seymour, and they will continue on. But yet again, Seymour is going to have that run, or Jackson's going to have that run to the inside. Michael Seymour will stick to the outside, and JC John Campbell says, you know what, guys, can I just get around both of you and then let you keep battling? He's right there in the mix, and JC is going to be looking for a pass somewhere. If he can find it, possibly will take us 3 wide here into turn 3. I thought he was going to do it on the exit of 2, but he doesn't. Tap of the wall there from Michael Seymour, and now John Campbell should be able to just kind of reel him in.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity here for John Campbell as we see him coming down into turn 3. Mike Weeda in the background there starting to fade away a little bit. I wonder if he's trying to conserve, just having to do way too much conservation, and that's why he's falling off this pack, because these guys are fighting pretty brittly here. You know, nice and fair, but they're really starting to throw out their claws as we see, 21 laps to go. This is definitely going to be exciting battles throughout the field as we see these cars are starting to come back together. We got about 5 cars all together right here that we're looking at. That is just behind the road from Cameron Kane and Jason Benson there. So this is your de facto race for 9th place so far.
Yeah, and this
battle
going to continue on for a little bit, I think. That's Grant Parker to the high line that's trying to stay out of the way there in the Batman Mountain Dew car, and well, he does a good job, but we get 3 wide for just a moment, and John Campbell finally gets the pass done on the inside there.
Yeah, we were 3 wide earlier in the race, and it didn't really go so well, but that was very early in the race. As we see here, Al Corey still holding on to that 5th spot, but he's got Matt Harmon all over him, and I mean, that rearview mirror just says nothing but Chevrolet. That is a lot of blue in your rearview mirror, and not a lot you can think about other than that blue car in the mirror.
And if you're wondering what he's seeing from behind, it is literally this. This is what he's seeing in a little mirror strip in his, there, looking through his helmet as we go along. And I mean, he's just driving it through. And I think Matt Harmon is holding back a little bit. And the reason I say that is I think Matt Harmon doesn't want to get the pass done too early because he doesn't want to give Al the chance to fight back. So I think he is just sort of settling in here where he's at right now and just sort of continuing to put the pressure on him. And the battle for the lead is starting to heat back up. Chad Baer's gotten the gap with Merritt down to about half a second here. So we'll see how that plays out, as well as we see Harmon still trying to drive it around Al Corey and not able to.
Yeah, this has been very interesting to see this battle shape out. Chad Baer just coming through the field just out of nowhere and, doing everything he can to make that battle for the lead happen. As we see here, Harmon is really just kind of holding back. I think, like you said, I don't think they're really trying too desperately hard to get by right at this very moment. 17 laps to go. They're probably just taking their time, They don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to be the front of this draft train if this is what it kind of turns into. So kind of agree with this decision here for Matt Harmon to just kind of pace it out, but definitely can't wait until the last moment. See if he makes a move here coming up soon. He gets a really good exit down the back straight. We'll see if he sticks it up high. Looked like he was liking that high line, but no, he's going to stay low and stay right there to the rear quarter panel here of Al Corey.
Yeah, and that battle will continue to develop as it goes here. Trying to find John Kreidler. He was right on the back of Sean Bradley, and Sean Bradley has blipped from the race. I don't know where Sean Bradley is. It's kind of unfortunate to see that has happened right as he had a good battle going with John Kreidler. Yeah, no, he's still not coming back, so we'll keep our eyes on that to see what happens, because the gap was just like 1/10 of a second or less, and now it looks like Sean Bradley dropping down the order like a stone there as we go. Chad Baer is within 0.3 of a second, about 1/4 of a second to Tyler Merritt. He started to pick up the pace a little bit here, and he is running very competitive times to Tyler Merritt. So Chad Bear is going to be trying to find a way to get a pass done here before the end. 15 laps to go. Does he have enough time?
Yeah, that last lap there was only 0.02 of a second separating the two leaders there. So yeah, he's definitely doing everything he can to stay with Tyler Merritt, to try to do everything he can to win this race. 15 laps to go. Don't want to make a move too early, but like I said, can't wait forever. You got to be as patient as you can be, but you know, at a certain point, he's just got to realize he's got to do something. He's got to make a move. He's got to force the issue. So we see Chad Bear coming around right now. And that last lap, a little bit bigger of a difference there, almost 1/10 between the two of them.
Yeah, I think this is the thing with Tyler Merritt that you can't underestimate, is he's always got a little bit more in the tank, it seems like, that he can give. And we'll see if he's able to do that here as we continue along. The gap is closing down the backstretch, but then it reopens back up. So we'll see how that goes. I want to jump back here. Al Corey and Matt Harmon, this gap is now 2 seconds. I don't know what's happened, but the gap is now 2 seconds between Al Corey and Matt Harmon. So that race is virtually gone there. Aston Rice right on the back of Ben Harcum. We'll see if he can find his way around eventually, but I don't want to leave this battle up front for the lead as we continue along, because Merritt is going to be under some pressure here as we continue along to see if he can hold on to this, or if Mr. Chad Bear here in P2 is going to be able to get the run to get the win.
Yeah, this is going to be really challenging here for Chad Bear. Slowly just seeing those laps tick off and tick off and tick off. Last time around was about 1/10 faster than Tyler Merritt, so he's starting to make up that gap again, but it keeps kind of going in waves here. One lap it'll be Chad that's a little bit faster. The next lap it'll be Tyler that's a little bit faster. Still wondering where Tyler found that random boost of speed from that first pit cycle. So that's really interesting in my opinion, is how he was able to just unlock something in the car and just completely dominate. But we see Chad Bear has figured something out as well, because he is right there. He's moved up through the field, and he's got a very, very, very solid chance of winning this race if he can just get a little bit closer and make a move stick.
Absolutely. I think the big question is going to be, can he make the move stick here as we go? Thumbsticks is doing everything right to defend the battle around as we continue through. But you see again, it was faster again, 41.56 to a 41.51. I'm going to keep that last lap counter up, or the last lap timer up here for a moment as they come through on this next lap. I think this will continue to show kind of the story of the battle, and it's really going to help you make the difference of who is where.
Yeah, no, this is definitely going to come down to the last couple laps here. Tyler in the YouTube chat earlier calling out that it was going to be a battle, a really strong battle for the finish, and I can't agree more. These two are really starting to, boil down here as we see Chad Bear, I think, fell off a little bit. Yeah, that was a much faster lap there by Tyler Merritt. So Merritt's able to make that gap a little bit bigger, down to a half a second, but still not enough for him to really feel relaxed in any sort of way. As we see John Campbell diving down the inside there of the 51. That is Jared Jackson in the 51 there. Jared Jackson giving that position up. John Campbell, JC Campbell in that Krispy Kreme car up into the top 10, but this is going to be Jackson fighting it back, and it looks like Jackson does have a run. He's got the bottom line. Is JC Campbell able to hold it out around the top of the corner here without losing that position? We'll see as we come around, and it looks like he's going to hold on, no problem.
Very, very good run around that outside line from Mr. John Campbell there, Mr. Krispy Kreme himself, to get himself set up in that run through. Jackson was trying to fight it back, but now John Campbell finds himself in the top 10 here with 9 laps to go. We'll see if he can hold on to it as this continues. Another battle that's continuing, Harcum, Rice, and Kane. This is a 3-car battle that is starting to shape up. I can't really say that it's going to explode into anything, but the gaps are coming down just a little bit, just enough as they need to. We check back in on this leader battle, and there they are, thumbsticks to Chad Bear, and you see he's jumping up behind that number 88 of Slaughter. He's trying to find a way to use Slaughter to his advantage a little bit, and Slaughter's going to actually pin him to the outside here, but I think Thumbsticks is okay with that. I think Tyler can get some good pace around the outside. You see, oh, he taps the wall there. That's going to open up the door for Chad Bear to get a bit of a run. What can Chad Bear do to take advantage of that? That is going to be the big question. Can he get a run here to catch his way up to Tyler Merritt? He's got to be close enough to take advantage of those small errors as they happen. And unfortunately, he wasn't that time. Is he now this time? Because Thumbsticks is in the wall again. And here we go. Now Chad Bear is going to bring it through. They're going to be side by side across the line. Chad Bear ahead. New leader, 7 to go. Chad Bear.
Chad Bear was just in the right place at the right time. Looked like it was a scruffy lap there from Tyler Merritt. He made a mistake that cost him about 0.2. That put Chad Bear right on his bumper, and you know, Tyler Merritt going a little bit too high coming out of turn 4 there, making another mistake. So this is absolutely everything that Chad Bear wanted and needed. So able to be patient about it, able to sit back. Now, he does have Tyler Merritt right behind him, so this battle is far from over. But you did make the move. You were able to wait patiently, and you know that Tyler Merritt's made a couple mistakes now, and that's going to be sitting on his conscience. So you might be able to play the mental game and, you know, hold on for dear life just because your opponent just keeps making mistakes. As we see Tyler trying to make that inside line work, that was a massive run he had coming off of the front stretch.
I don't know where he gets these massive runs from, but man, does he try with it. As we now go down the backstretch, Thumbsticks is right there to the back of Chad Bear. He's putting pressure on him. 6 laps to go. It'll be 5 to go as they cross the line. And this battle has really heated up between these two, and it is going to continue on for just a bit of time here as they come across the line. You see Chad Bear drop slow. Thumbsticks is going to follow him around, and they will continue this race through into 1 and 2, respectively, as they go. And you see Thumbsticks is running the lower entry to Chad Bear this time. Chad Bear, he drops later in the corner to come back up. So I think that's where Thumbsticks is getting his run, is that he's taking a slightly different line through where he's exiting a little bit earlier with a little more speed. But that time Chad Bear works it out very well. 5 to go, and Chad Bear just needs to stay nice and smooth.
Yeah, 0.3 of a lead right now. Just has to just keep his head cool, calm, collected. Don't try to overdrive the car. Last lap around, they were basically equal lap times. We'll see what happens here. 41.465 basically for both cars last time, and once again 41.565 basically for both cars this time. So putting in identical lap times, looks like Bear is able to just kind of hold on, just keep that gap, because I mean, we've seen it multiple times. Tyler Merritt does get that mid to late corner run coming off of 2 and 4, it seems. As we see, the dive down, just coming off the back straight into the turn 3 there.
See, the thing is, he's got to be in a position to take advantage of that run that he gets. And right now, he's not finding himself in that advantageous position he needs. He needs to be a little bit closer. We're 3 to go this time by, and this is going to be where, really, if you're Thumbsticks, you've got to find it now. Otherwise, you might as well give it up here. And we'll see as he goes. You see a little wiggle there on the exit of turn 2. Don't hit the wall, Tyler. And he doesn't, but that's going to open up one heck of a gap to Chad Bear, and the gap now over half a second. I don't know if there's a lot he can do there for himself as he goes around. This is going to be 2 to go as they cross the line, and I think Chad Bear, buddy, all you got to do is just drive 2 more laps. I think Thumbsticks with that big wiggle out of 2 might have put himself in trouble if he doesn't have anything extra in the tank.
Yeah, Tyler Merritt made quite a few mistakes there. Excuse me. I apologize there. Tyler made quite a few mistakes there in a very short span of time. This has completely worked in Chad Bear's directly to his hand. You know, everything is just falling into his lap. As long as he is just able to make it around these next 2 laps, no mistakes, he's going to have this win. Just like you said, he's just got to really just drive these 2 laps. And as we come out of turn 3 into turn 4 here, that 2 laps is going to be 1 more lap. We're going to have a white flag this time around.
Over the line, Chad Bear, white flag, 0.8 of a second behind is Thumbsticks Merritt. Tyler Thumbsticks has led a large portion of this race here today, but in the end, 2 small errors in 1 lap is going to cost him. Chad Bear, nice and smooth and consistent. He started down in P4. He's going to find himself up in the lead now as we exit out of 2. It's a nice smooth exit, and Thumbsticks driving it a little bit harder again into the wall. One more time he goes, and we'll see what happens with him there as he goes around. Chad Bear now into 3, and that is how big the gap is. We check back to Al Corey. Al Corey's just now coming through turn 1, turn 2, and it does look like somebody has spun. Looks like that's possibly Cameron Kane going through, but it doesn't matter. Chad Bear is going to come across the line, and he wins the Bigfoot Motorsports race here in the Nichols Oil Pro Xfinity Series. And here at Michigan Raceway, sponsored by John Kreidler, and gets a good run. Tyler Merritt in P2, and John Kreidler, actually, your race sponsor of the day, and he finds himself a podium on the day. Very, very, very rewarding for him there to sponsor the race and find it around. One last battle to sort out there. Aston Rice is going to be coming through with Ben Harcum. How do they finish? Side by side they go, and it is Ben Harcum just barely ahead of Aston Rice. And JC John Campbell with a little bit more of a battle here. Can he catch Jackson? He's not close enough, and Naj there is no contest because Naj is in P19, and he comes across the line here, and that is going to be our finishes. Chad Bear now coming around here for his celebrations.
Excellent racing all the way up through the fields. You know, Tyler Merritt made a couple mistakes there, got to be kicking himself, but, you know, able to come back and learn from that and, you know, try to cut down on mistakes a little bit. But, I mean, a P2 is still almost as good as a P1. Obviously, you want that race win, but points matter, and it doesn't matter where you get them, when you get them, just take them when you can. So, P2, great race there for Tyler. John Kreidler, sponsor of the race, had a very, very, very solid run early on. Was completely up front there. And go ahead and take it away.
And our final results here from the NicholsOilsPro.com Xfinity race here at Michigan Speedway, sponsored by John Kreidler, the Bigfoot race. Chad Bear finds his way up into a win with a good pass there with just a few laps to go from Tyler Merritt. Thumbsticks there in P2, but Tyler has the championship secured. I'm sure he's not too worried about it there. John Kreidler in 3rd place. Al Corey finds his way into a P4 and secures that out. Matt Harmon in 5th. Ben Harcum in P6. Aston Rice in P7. Jason Benson P8. Jared Jackson in 9th. JC John Campbell P10. Michael Seymour in 11th. Cameron Kane P12. Jeff Slaughter in P13. Mike Weida, Isaac Voss, Ward Fisher, Howie Burrows in P17. Only 2 laps down, representing JP Broadcasting well. Tex Nichols in P18. From there, you do have Naj Crutchley, Sean Bradley, and Grant Parker, your drivers in the bottom of the order, respectively. But that is going to be where we have our results through. Now let's see if we can drag our drivers around and see if we can't get some interviews going here. Let's see. First, but certainly not least, let's start out with Mr. Chad Bear. Chad.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good win, man. I'm doing pretty good, especially seeing you get that pass with less than 10 to go.
Yeah, I done give up on passing him, but I got stuck in his dirty air and couldn't go anywhere. He was probably a little bit better. Tyler had me beat that race anyway, and he got in the wall once, and then he had some kind of something go on with his computer, he said, and that's when I finally was able to get around him. I'm not sure what happened to him, but just works out that way sometimes.
Well, I'll say it from our side. It looked like he hit the wall out of 2, and you got to him, and then he hit the wall out of 4, and you passed him. So that's what it looked like. But it goes to show that sometimes, especially with these long runs, that perseverance can really just play the part.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, we had that got wrecked on that first lap, and it literally, because we don't have a lot of cautions in this series, it took me the entire race to get, when we pitted that last time, that was the first time the whole race that me and Tyler was on even tires and could kind of go head to head. He still, like I said, he had me beat by a little bit, but I just made fewer mistakes than him. That was all that's what made the difference at the end of it.
Absolutely. And Chad, it's one more race in the season. It's Nashville Fairgrounds next week. Are you looking forward to it? What's your big game plan for Nashville?
It's try to survive Nashville, man. The short tracks are definitely my weakest link on here. Like, I love the speedways, road courses, but the short tracks there's just so much that can go wrong. I feel like I've got good speed there, but something finds a way of happening to me. So just be to try to get out front, stay out front, if at all possible.
I understand that completely. And Chad, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go for the night?
Shout out to you all. I'm sure it was a great broadcast. I didn't even know you were broadcasting it till the end of the race. So excited to go back and watch it. Appreciate everybody with the triple bypass, man. And thanks to Brad Kress for painting me this Robbie Gordon special, the Jim Beam 91. I think it's the sharpest car on the track. But anyway, we'll catch you all next Thursday if you broadcast.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right, so that is Chad Bear. Now let's see if we can find our P2 finisher, Thumbsticks Merit. Tyler.
How's it going, man?
It's good. I worry to ask you, though. How are you doing?
Night. Windows security popped up in the last couple laps.
Oh.
It minimized iRacing and windowed it, and when I pressed enter full screen and black, my screen went black for about a little over half a second. That's when I got on the wall with a couple laps to go, and that just gave Chad the ability to pass me, and that push ended the win for me.
That's gut wrenching.
That is actually the worst thing I've heard.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 people in the Discord were having problems with iRacing. Sean got kicked. Sean, his iRacing crashed. Nodge, his iRacing crashed. And I think Howie was saying he was having technical difficulties too tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy I lost the championship race early and I got second place, but I was hoping to get my 3rd win of the season tonight.
Hey, you still got next week that you can try to get your 3rd win.
That's true, but I've never driven National Fairgrounds in a stock car, and I'm kind of scared too, honestly.
I mean, you got a week to practice, though. I think you'll be okay. I've seen the pace you have around.
That is true. I would say though, I locked the championship up a week early. That's that good. I mean, I think even if Brad did show up tonight, I would have locked it up because I think for us, I'm 58 points in front of Harmon. So even if Harmon somehow won and got all the bonus points, I didn't show up next week, I'd still win, which is makes me happy, especially after all the bad stuff that's happened to me this season. I just have been fortunate enough to only DNF one race, and thankfully that was a drop week. So
yeah, it's been awesome to watch you run all season. Even though it's on a controller, you've been fast as heck, man. So I can't say a lot, but anyone you want to thank or you want to shout out here before we let you go? Since you've wrapped up a championship, you got P2 in a race, you got 1 week to go, and you can just kind of cruise and enjoy yourself.
Well, I want to thank you guys for the amazing broadcast, like usual. I want to thank Jeff McConaughey and the rest of McConaughey Setup Shop. I want to thank Rafter and the rest of the admin team for Triple Bypass. They've been doing an amazing job this season in all their series. I want to thank my 2 iRacing teams, Wanted Goons and Full Send Racing, which is my casual team. Wanted Goons is my competitive team that's backed by an esports org, which is also Wanted Goons. I also want to thank Glitch Energy for letting me become an affiliate of theirs the past a month. I think it's been a month now, maybe a month and a half. It's helped me ditch energy drinks for the most part, which has saved me a lot of money.
I'm gonna have to check them out. Send me a message after you know my little link.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know now. Their stuff goes half off every couple week or two. But do you live in the UK?
No, I live in the US.
Oh, if you didn't say you live in the US, okay. I couldn't remember if they shipped to the UK or not. But yeah, I'll send you a link, man. I will.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it, Tyler. Man, have a good night. Even though
you too, man.
Even though it kind of ended up that way, congrats on the P2, man, and we'll see you next week, okay?
I appreciate it, man. See ya.
Man, Windows security.
That's just painful. That's just.
I mean,
like we've all had iRacing kind of like act funny or like for whatever reason an app opened and it like de-windowed or whatever. But having something just pop up on your screen like that while you're in the lead with only like 5 laps left, I think that's just. Ugh.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's the worst. But I'll tell you, a driver who had a consistent run through this race and Started P2, finished P3, and sponsor of our race today, Mr. John Kreidler. John, how oh, did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
Oh, well, let's see if we can find him again here. Wait a second. John, it's Brad and Michael. How you copy?
I'm here.
There
Copying
we go. Good. I was worried I lost you for a second.
I'm here.
Awesome. First of all, thank you for sponsoring the race, sir.
No problems. I enjoyed it. Happy to help out.
Yeah. And second of all, how did Michigan treat you tonight?
I'm a Michigan man, so it was good. I was just looking at my pit stops. They were 2 and 3 seconds slower than Chad and Tyler. I think that says a lot right there.
I will say green flag stops can be a little bit hard to run, but you seem pretty consistent all the way through, especially to find your way into a P3, so.
Yeah, I just, Chad and Tyler pitted a little bit earlier than I did, and plus they were 2 or 3 seconds faster, and I came out of the pits and I was 6, 7 seconds behind those guys. So that was hard to make up.
Yeah, and it can be difficult. So I got to ask, when you got drivers like that are just taking off, do you just kind of settle in and say, all right, I'm going to run for this position because I know I can't beat those guys? Or do you still try to gun it for them?
I try to go. I mean, I don't settle for it. I was just trying to go as hard as I could. Also trying to save tires. And trying to catch one at a time. Catch Sean, which I was just getting ready to pass him, and he wigged out. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but he got kicked out of the session. But I was just trying to catch the other two, Tyler and Chad. I was turning some faster laps, but they were just so far ahead. There's no way I could catch them.
Yeah, but you gave it a good run in Nashville next week. Should be a good little final hoorah to give an attempt out. So, John, anyone you want to thank, anyone you want to shout out before I let you go for the night?
Rafter for running a great league and all the other admins. It's been fantastic. I enjoy racing with these guys. So a big hats off to those guys.
Awesome. And a big shout out to you for sponsoring the race tonight. And John, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week, okay?
I will be at the beach with the family next week, so I'm out.
We won't see you next week then. So we'll see you. I guess we'll see you next season then.
Yep, I'll be there next season for sure.
Awesome, John. Well, we'll catch up soon, man. Have a good vacation.
Hey, when you're retired, you're always on vacation.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I respect that. So, and you know what? I wouldn't mind retiring. Can we get JP Broadcasting to sign me a 401k pension retirement package? That'd be pretty nice. I know it won't happen, but I can ask for it, right?
I mean, I'm on board. I'll take one too.
Hey, I know James won't do it, but we could try. So yeah, that's going to be our race for the night here. Michael, any final thoughts, man?
It was a great race, honestly. A little unfortunate that some of the computer issues that we found out some of the drivers had, but I mean that is part of iRacing, so it is what it is. But overall, great race. A lot of guys had great pace, and it was just a blast to watch.
Yeah, I always account the computer issues to being similar to any sort of like engine issue, suspension issue, brake issue that you would have in real life. It's something out of your control, but it's something that can happen. So you just sort of have to prepare for it. It's unfortunate when it strikes, but every once in a while it's going to bite you and take you out of contention.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be where we send this one off for the night here at Michigan. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bells, do all the things to support for free. I cannot confirm that we have one more triple bypass broadcast till next week. So if you want to find out, you're going to have to be subscribed to the channel and check for the live stream to get posted ahead of time. And we'll see what happens there. But on behalf of Mr. Michael David, my name is Bradley Dalton. We've taken you start to finish here at Michigan tonight. Be sure to join us next week where we'll take you start to finish, possibly again. Good night.